a bathing suit. Also, 5 bronze bells right above the stage. Each one of them represents one of the 5 Spanish missions in San Antonio. Now we're heading under Rosita's Bridge. Rosita Fernandez played on that stage for 26 years in the show Fiesta Noche del Rio, which is still in production today. They just started season number 68 last month. They play every Friday and Saturday night during the summer. Over here to the right is the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Got a lot of different artwork showing the history of the West, as well as an interactive diorama, the Battle of the Alamo. Pancho Villa's saddle and Santa Anna's sword are on display. Now these big trees that you see lining the Riverwalk, these are cypress trees. We have 2 kinds of cypress tree. On the river we have bald cypress and Montezuma cypress. Most of them are about 200 to 300 years old. Now we're going to be heading up to the Princess Street Bridge coming up. This is a solid iron bridge built in the 1890s. It's called an iron ornamental bridge, and there are 10 of these left in the United States. 3 are on the San Antonio River. And this one sits pretty low, so we're going to steer right through the middle of it. You might think you're going to hit your head on it, but trust me, if you don't stand up, you'll be fine. I, on the other hand, fair as well. Go right through the middle here. And just up ahead on the right, you'll see a small island with an iron sculpture on it. The sculpture is known as Father Mastinet's Table. And that was a gift from artist Rolando Briceño in 1991. It's put there to commemorate the first Catholic Mass that took place in San Antonio on June 13, 1691. If you take a close look at the island, you see it's completely comprised of that cypress tree's root system. And it's also a heart-shaped island. It's known as Marriage Island. We have over 300 weddings that take place there every year. We had 4 this last Saturday, 2 on Sunday. On the other side of the bridge, we have Divorce Island. Now this part of the river is actually known as Old Mill Crossing. Back in the 1800s, Nat Lewis had his mill on the right bank. He would grind grain for the settlers. And this was also a very shallow part of the river. Settlers could cross, they'd water their horses. Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders used to train right in this area. And on the right we had the Westin Hotel that was built in 1999. It's a really new addition to the Riverwalk. It's surrounded by all these older buildings. So just past the Westin there on the right, there's a darker red brick building. That used to be the San Antonio Drug Company. From 1919 to 1963, now it's the Homewood Suites. Got remodeled in 95. Now here on the left, this is the Tower Life building. This one lights up the San Antonio skyline. Built in 1927 and 1928. It used to be called the Smith-Young Tower. If you look all the way up to the top of the tower, you'll see these concrete structures jutting out of each of the 8 corners. Those are known as gargoyles. They serve as a rain drainage system. So when it rains, the water comes out of the gargoyles' mouths into the gutters below. If you look just above the trees over here to the left, you'll see these angry little scary faces kind of snarling down at you. Those are known as grotesques. Now the whole building is an example of neo-Gothic architecture. The original owners, Smith and Young, were fairly superstitious. They put all these things in place to ward off evil spirits in bad business. Unfortunately, 1 year after the building opened, the stock market crashed in 1929. It cost them over $3 million to build it. They had to sell it for less than $300,000. Not saying much for gargoyles. I'll show you a neat little effect. If you take a look back at the Tower Life building, you'll notice that it's transformed into a ship. Looks like it's coming onto the river right behind us. You got to use your imagination just a little bit. Imagine a little Leonardo DiCaprio hanging out in front of it. Now here on the right, the International Center. That was the San Antonio Main Public Library until 1998. Now it has the offices of the San Antonio Conventions Bureau. It's also right above one of our marinas where we dock some of our boats at night. And directly in front of us is Old Big Red. That's the Bexar County Courthouse. Built in 1896, it's made of red sandstone and granite. One of the oldest and largest continuously operating courthouses in Texas. As in case there's any cross traffic here, I have to honk the horn. Don't be alarmed. So this part of the river that we've been on, this is all the natural flow of the river. It's a naturally occurring horseshoe bend in the San Antonio River. And the river flows to the left. We're headed to the right into a man-made part. We're entering into the flood channel. We're just leaving through Floodgate 4. Now, when it rains really hard, Floodgate 4 will rise up out of the water like a drawbridge. Keeps the water at the exact same level in the Horseshoe Bend at all times. There's never any flooding back there. The hotels, the mall, the restaurants, all completely safe from flooding. Now you see that bridge in front of us with all the locks on it? That is the Love Lock Bridge. When a couple gets married, they come out here, they have a little ceremony where they symbolically lock their love together forever and then throw the key into the river. There's a lot of combination locks up there. Now it doesn't rain very often in San Antonio, but when it does, it can rain really hard, really fast. And flooding used to be a huge problem for downtown. In 1921, we had a flood that caused a lot of deaths and a lot of property damage. So the Army Corps of Engineers came in here and built this flood channel for us. And that put an end to all our downtown flooding problems. So there were a lot of prominent businessmen who wanted to fill in and pave over that other part of the river we were just on. They room for more buildings and streets. But lucky for us, two women had the foresight to put a stop to that. It was Emily Edwards and Raina Maverick Green. They formed the San Antonio Conservation Society in 1924. And a few years after that, there was a graduate from the University of Texas by the name of Robert H.H. Hutton. And he designed the entire Riverwalk at the age of 27. Presented his plans to the city. The city approved it in 1929. Still wasn't completed until 41 after the Works Project Administration took over. But Hutton is still known as the father of the Riverwalk. He designed every walkway and staircase, every planter, lamppost, and bench. Everything you see in the Horseshoe Bend is pretty much Hutman's design. Now, the Riverwalk was originally approved in 1929. It's supposed to be called the Shops of Aragon and Romulai. It was all going to be modeled after Venice, Italy, with singing gondoliers and Italian restaurants. As soon as it was approved, the stock market crashed. Everything was put on hold for about 10 years. And they used all the original architectural designs, so the Riverwalk looks pretty much how it was intended. Just got rid of the whole singing gondolier part, which I'm not too unhappy about. Now, Hutman did design this walkway over here on the right. That's fairly new. It's been there about 18 years. That was a gift from the Drury Plaza Hotel. It's an 850-foot walkway. It connects Floodgates 3 and 4. So now you can walk all the way around the Horseshoe. Over here to the left, through the trees, kind of hard to see anything back there, but that's the main plaza. Established in 1731.